Hello, it's Egypt Nile, and welcome. I'm going to be reading chapter 3 of my book, Under the Poreclain Skin, Memoir by Bulimic. And I'm here with Z. Z, say hi. What you looking? You just want pets. But I'm not giving you pets right now. I'm going to be reading my book. If you want to see me read chapter 1 and 2, it will be on my YouTube channel. Link is in the description or in my bio at Egypt Nile. Well, it's Egypt. It's youtube.com/Egypt Nile if you want to see my last videos. But moving on to chapter 3. Chapter 3. The cold air from the breeze comes through the window, hitting the back of my neck as I sit next to it. I turn my head to look out and see my sister sitting on the roof. We share a big room in the attic. Our walls are purple and covered with posters of our favorite Japanese pop groups, Tokyo Hotel, and my creepy old porcelain dolls. I obsess over them because of my love for horror films like Chucky and Amityville. Fiona hates them. She says they look like they come to life and murder us in her sleep. But she never makes me get rid of them. That's just how she is. Dramatic, teasing, but never cruel. Fiona has always been the fearless one. She's outspoken, confident, and never second guess herself. She's the kind of person who can walk into a room and own it without trying. Sometimes I even envy her ability to just be. She doesn't overthink things like I do. She just acts. And yet, with her strong personality, she's the only one who makes me feel safe. Like, no matter how much of a mess I am, she'll never let me fall apart completely. The biggest perk of having a room in the attic is the roof. Some nights when everything feels too much, we sneak out onto it, lying under the stars, letting the silence wrap around us like a second blanket. It's the one place where everything feels still. Don't be so loud or Mom's going to kill us, Fiona whispers to me as I carefully climb out of the window, trying not to make a sound. I slowly put my other leg out, finally making it outside. It's a little chilly from the breeze. Wearing just a long t-shirt with no pants, only socks, doesn't help. Luckily, I brought my favorite yellow pillow and a small wool blanket. I sit next to Fiona, our shoulders almost touching as we stare at the sky. So, who's that guy you were talking to earlier? He was kind of cute. No one really. It was just Ethan. I say like I know him well, but truthfully, I've only talked to him once in middle school. We never really talked after that. Well, I hope this just Ethan guy likes you too. She smirks at me. I roll my eyes and pretend not to hear her. I can lie to Fiona all I want, but she always knows the truth, no matter how much I try to hide it. She sees right through me. She knows who I like, what I do, what I feel, and I always wonder if she caught onto my diet or if she even cares. A little part of me wants her to notice, but not yet. I must lose more weight first. She nudges me lightly. You should talk to him more. I scoffed as she said that. And say what? I respond as she shrugs. I don't know, maybe let someone in, actually get to know you for once. I don't respond. How do I respond to that? Because it's true, I'm afraid to let someone in. I get anxious about the thought alone. I slowly pull my blanket tighter around me and focus on the stars. The night is quiet, except for our slow, steady breathing. Despite the chill, I feel extremely warm. Maybe it's Fiona's presence, or maybe it's just exhaustion. We continue lying there, the night wrapped around us like a secret only we share. My eyelids grow heavier, and before I know it, sleep starts pulling me under. Kyra! Fiona's voice joins me awake. I sit up, my heart pounding as I realize I'm still on the roof. What's wrong? I whisper, groggily. I thought I heard footsteps. It's almost morning. We gotta get back into our beds ASAP. Fiona says quietly. I nod. My body sluggish with sleep as I slowly get up. We make our way to the window, slipping through it quickly and crawl into our beds. As I lay down, I exhale deeply, feeling a strange sense of accomplishment. Lying down on an empty stomach feels so good. It's comforting in a way that nothing else is. I close my eyes, letting the feeling ease me to sleep. And that was chapter 3. I'm gonna do chapter 4 too. Yeah, because it's like chapter 4 is kind of long, but chapter 3 was way too short. So let's continue on. Chapter 4. I woke up to my stomach growling. It has been almost a week since I eaten anything besides water and fruit in the morning. I've never been so proud of myself. If I keep working this hard, I will definitely achieve my goal weight of 130 pounds. But at 5'2" and 207 pounds, the journey ahead is steep. Slowly, I sat up, my body weak, my stomach twisted in knots. Kyra, come down for breakfast. Shit. It hit me. I'd forgotten it was Friday, one of the few days my mother actually cooked breakfast. Panic set in as I scrambled to get dressed. My mind was racing with excuses, escape plans, and anything to avoid the food. I grabbed an old pair of ripped jeans that clung to my thighs in the wrong ways and a long red velvet shirt, something oversized to hide myself. After fixing my eyebrows, swiping on red lipstick, and doing absolutely anything to draw attention from my body, I rushed downstairs, hoping to slip past my mother with just a piece of fruit in my hand. I almost made it. A sharp smack landed on the back of my head. "Pick me," she shouted, with her thick Jamaican patois in irritation. "Put the fruit down and get some ackee and saltfish with dumplings. Me spend time cooking and you just gonna grab food and run out?" "Yes, Mommy. I'm sorry." I sighed regretfully, placing the fruit back in the basket. My chest tightened as I looked at the plate piled with food. The buttery... I wonder what's going on inside there. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. It's a lot of ambulance. So loud. You just gonna lay on your side? My chest tightened as I looked at the plate piled with food. The buttery ackee glistened beside the saltfish. The heavy dumplings resting on the side like a small bricks, waiting to weigh me down. The smell was intoxicating, my stomach crying out in hunger, yet my mind screamed at me not to eat. Each bite felt like a betrayal to my progress, a step backwards. I chewed slowly, forcing myself to swallow. My mother watched me from across the room, her sharp eyes making sure I ate more than just a few measly bites. I wanted to cry, to push the plate away, to run, but I couldn't. So I ate just enough to keep her from questioning me. The food sat heavy in my stomach like regret. "Also," she added, pouring herself a cup of tea, "you will Fiona walk into school today." Relief washed over me instantly. At least I can burn off some calories. The thought comforted me, helped me push past the guilt that had already started crawling at my insides. If I could walk fast enough, maybe I could erase this morning from my body entirely. As I walked out, closing the door behind me and my sister in front of me, I turned my face to look outside. The sun was beaming on my face. The birds were chirping. As we continued to walk, a breeze rustled through the trees, It was the kind of morning that should have made me feel alive. But all I can think about was the ache in my stomach, the empty pit that both comfort me and torment me. Fiona sighed beside me as we cut through the old train tracks, a shortcut we often took. Thank God we're almost there, she huffed. Yeah, I mumbled, forcing myself to keep pace. My body felt sluggish, my limbs heavy. She slowed down, watched me carefully. Are you okay? I forced a smile. Yeah, why you ask? I don't know, you just seem not okay. Fiona's voice was casual, but I can tell she was concerned. That was just how she was. She cared, but she didn't like to make a big deal out of things. I'm just tired from all the nights we stayed up on the roof. I laughed to throw her off. She chuckled, letting it go. True, but you look like hell. She teased, nagging me with her shoulder. Maybe actually sleep sometime instead of whatever you're doing all night. I rolled my eyes. Thanks for the advice, Dr. Fiona. She smirked. Hey, I just say how it is. Then she glanced at her phone. Crap, we're gonna be late. We picked up our pace, half jogging towards the school, dodging cracks in the pavement as we neared the entrance. Just as we reached the front of the doors, the warning bell rang. The classroom was stuffy, the air thick with the smell of old books and coffee. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a harsh glow over rows of worn wooden desks. English is not doing it today. It's not. Mr. Worthworth stood in front of the room, his glasses perched low on his nose as he scrambled something onto the board. His brown tweed blazer made him look like he had stepped straight out of a movie about a strict but caring teachers. Good morning, class, and look who decided to join us late again, Mr. Worthworth announced, his voice tangled with disappointment as I stepped into the room, his eyes already on me. Sorry, Mr. Worthworth, I muttered, slipping into my usual seat next to Christina. Kyra, stay back for a moment after class, he said, his tone softened. I nodded quickly, avoiding his gaze. The lesson dragged on, my mind drifting as he spoke about literature symbolism. Every so often, I felt his eyes, as if he could see me right through me. Bell rings. When the bell finally rang, the other students poured out of the classroom, eager to escape. Kyra, Mr. Worthworth called as I stood to leave. I hesitated before stepping towards his desk. I know it's only the beginning of this school year, but you've already been late this whole week now. Is everything okay? I forced a smile, shifting uncomfortably. Yeah, I'm fine, just tired, that's all. His eyes searched mine for a moment before he nodded. Alright, just don't make a habit of being late, okay? And if you ever need to talk, my door is always open. Thanks, Mr. Worthworth, I said quickly, already backing away. Kyra, are you coming? Christina's voice rang from the hallway. I turned towards her, grateful for the excuse to leave. Yeah, I'm coming. As I walked out, I could still feel Mr. Worthworth's eyes on me. I pushed away, the uneasy feeling creeping on my spine, and followed Christina into the crowded hallway. Oh, that was chapter 4. I say it like I didn't write this book. But, yeah, that was chapter 4. I thought it was going to be longer. Can I read chapter 5 too? Chapter 5, Meeting the Group. The walk took about 15 minutes. As we continued to walk, the pavement turned into dark paths littered with broken glass and scraps of rusted metal. The place was massive, filled with abandoned cars stacked on top of each other. Old furniture left to decayed and forgotten pieces of the past. It smelled like oil, dust, and something vaguely burnt. Welcome to our kingdom, Christina announced, dramatically throwing her hands out as if she was just leading me into a palace instead of garbage fields. I wasn't quite sure what to say. This is exactly what I imagined when she said she wanted me to meet her friends. So let me introduce you guys to everyone, Christina said, grinning. This is Jacob. Hello, Jacob said with a small wave, his voice smooth and unbothered. He was somewhat tall and had a cool energy to him, his skateboard never leaving his side. He had a dark brown skin like a mix of black and Latino. He wore a hoodie that looked too big with a book bag. Over there is Callan. Christina continued. What's up? Callan greeted with his arms crossed over his chest. He looked Asian, probably Indian, was a bit taller than Jacob, and had the confidence of someone who plays sports a little too much. His head cap was backwards, and he smirked like he knew he was annoyed. I think I've seen you in Mr. Wordsworth's class, I said, narrowing my eyes. Yeah, I don't talk much in there, Callan shrugged. Too busy being an academic weapon. Yeah, okay, Christina rolled her eyes. And this is Jeff. Howdy, Jeff said with an exaggerated swing, his accent dripping with fake country charm. He was white, short, and had a backpack shrugged over his shoulder like he was ready to leave if needed. And lastly, Remy, but you already know her. Hey, Remy greeted softly, her voice sent an unexpected warmth through me. I nodded, my lips curling into a small smile. Well, I guess you guys already know me. I'm the Kyra that Christina keeps talking about, I said nervously, trying to be funny. Oh, we know, Callan grinned. Christina made you seem like some mysterious rebel or something. She does that, Remy smirked. So what do you guys even do here? I asked, looking around at the mess of broken down cars and scattered junk. What don't we do? Callan replied, scratching his arms. We just hang out and escape, be ourselves. Basically, Remy nodded. If we weren't here, we're just at Jeff's house, which is honestly just like the junkyard. Jacob interrupts. As he takes off his book bag, he takes out a blanket to put on the ground for everyone else to sit on, then takes out beer bottles, passing it around. Hey man, it's not that bad, Jeff protested, grabbing a beer bottle from Jacob. Jacob smirked as he continued to pass around more beer bottles. Nah, it's worse, we all laughed. Then he came to me. Do you want one? Jacob asked. It took me a moment to respond. Alcohol was nothing new to me. I grew up in a Jamaican household where rum was go-to ready remedy for sickness. But beer? That was different. My diet, how many calories were in this? My fingers hesitated before wrapping around the bottle. Sure. I forced a smile and took it from his hand, staring at the label like it would tell me whether this one sip would ruin everything. My stomach clenched, but I took a sip anyway. The bitter taste lingering on my tongue, the guilt crept in almost instantly, but I shoved it down. I couldn't ruin this moment. For the first time in a while, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I belong here. As time passed, everyone enjoyed their beers. A light buzz settled over me. Was I tipsy? Maybe. It was hard to tell. My body felt warm, my mind a little lighter than usual. You know it's okay to say no. Remy's voice broke through my thoughts. She had moved closer to me, her presence steady and calming. I glanced at her, realizing she didn't have a beer bottle in her hand. Why aren't you drinking? I asked, tilting my head slightly. I'm Muslim, and I actually take my religion seriously. She responded. I felt my face turn warm from embarrassment. Makes sense. I laughed, tried to shrug it off. There was a bit of silence between us, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was something else. I looked at her, really looked at her, the way her dark lipstick contracted her smooth skin, the way her hijab framed her face like a portrait, the way her eyes, deep, steady, unwavering, were locked on mine. She pulled out her phone, unlocking it. I looked at the screen. My heart skipped a beat. The time, 8 p.m. It was getting late. My stomach stank. Shit, I muttered under my breath, fumbling for my phone in my pocket, only to find it dead. What's wrong? Remy asked. Her brows knitted together. My phone's dead. I was supposed to text my mom hours ago. She's going to kill me. Jeff, overhearing, waved a hand dismissively. No big deal. We could go to my grandma's house and use the landline. She won't mind. I hesitated, my anxiety growling at me. But what other option did I have? I nodded. Yeah, okay. Remy hesitated, looking at me like she wanted to say something else. But instead, she handed me her phone. Here, put your number in first. I took it from her, fingers hovering over the keyboard for a second, way too long. Was she just being nice, or was there something more? My heart pounded as I typed in my number and handed the phone back to her. Her fingers brushed slightly, and it was stupid, but even that tiny touch made my skin tingled. Cool, Remy said as she texted me, her voice softer. Now you have mine too. Something about the way she said it made my stomach flip. I couldn't speak. I just nodded my head, smiling. Kyra, come on, Jeff called. Let's get to my grandmother's before she's fall asleep. I exhaled, pushing down the chaos inside me. Yeah, let's go. I got up following the group. Jeff's grandmother's house smelled like a dust and mildew. A cramped space overflowing with newspaper, plastic bags, and stacks of old junk crawling every corner. The couch was ripped, itself spilled from its steams, and there was barely any room to walk through the clutter. It was stiff and suffocated, and yet Jeff moved through it like it was the most normal thing in the world. Make yourself at home, he said, grinning, stepping over a pile of magazines. Remy gave me a look as if she could sense my discomfort. I didn't know what to say. I've never been inside a house like this before. It felt like stepping into someone's forgotten memories, hoarded and left to rot. Oh, you know, we ain't ever saying no to your cooking, Grandma, Calvin said, grinning as he grabbed his plate. Even if it got that special ingredient, dog hair. Man, shut up, Calvin. Just 'cause my house got a little character don't mean it ain't home. Jeff shot back, shaking his head as he grabbed a plate for himself. Jacob smirked, balancing his skateboard against the wall. Fair enough, man. I swear, one of these days, we're gonna find a whole lost civilization under all this junk. Callan laughed. Nah, Jeff's house is more like a find the floor challenge, Jacob continued. Y'all are ruthless, Christina giggled, shaking her head as she grabbed a plate. But I mean, you're not wrong. Remy shrugged. Jeff just rolled his eyes, but there was an announcement in his voice. Y'all keep talking, but when the apocalypse comes, guess who's gonna have all the supplies? This guy. He jabbed a thumb at his chest. Because expired cans of beans and a mountain of newspapers are exactly what we'll need to survive, Jacob teased, biting into his food. The smell of creamy chicken, mixed vegetables, and blackberry pie filled the air, twisting my stomach into knots. I had already eaten too much today. I couldn't let myself slip any further. Through all the joking, Remy had been quiet, her darker eyes flickering towards me more than once. Unlike the others, she didn't tease Jeff about the house. Her focus was on me, watching in that way that made my stomach twist for an entirely different reason. Kyra, get a plate, she urged softly, nudging a place closer to me. I bet you're hungry since you didn't have lunch, Christina added. I hesitated, staring at the steamed food in front of me. My body screamed at me to eat, but my mind screamed louder. Weak, undisciplined, fat. I felt Remy's eyes on me, soft but intensive as I rushed over to get food. You don't have to rush, she said quietly, just loud enough for me to hear the others laughing as I grabbed the food like an animal that hasn't eaten in days. You can eat as much as you want. I nodded, pretending that helped. It didn't. It felt like their eyes were on me, crawling over my skin and inspecting, waiting. I picked up the plate. Every bite was torture. I chewed slowly, counting every calorie in my head, every ounce of food I was putting into my body. The guilt crept in, heavy and suffocating, sinking deep into my bones. By the time I finished, my stomach felt stretched, stuffed beyond comfort, and I could already feel the panic rising. Jeff's grandmother interrupted me before I could panic. She led me to the phone, heading to the receiver as she dialed my mother's phone number for me. My heart pounded in my chest as their line rang. Hello? My mom's sharp voice answered. Mom, it's me, I said. I lost track of time. I was gonna walk home, but Jeff's grandma said she can drive me. Lost track of time? Her voice laced with frustration. Me tell you to come home early, and me have to worry about you. My pot was so bad. Sorry, guys. I know, I'm sorry, I mumbled, staring at the ground. I promise I'm safe. I'll be home soon. Jeff's grandmother took the phone from me, gently, her voice calm and reassuring. She's safe there. Don't worry. I'll get her home soon. She has a good head on her shoulders. A pause, then my mother sighed heavily through the phone. All right, bring her straight home. Me don't want this to happen again, you hear me? I forced a smile, nodding, but all I wanted was to leave. Jeff's grandmother smiled at me, her wrinkled hand patting my arm before leading me to her old minivan. The van was ancient. It's a brown paint faded, chipping, and the inside smelled like lavender air freshener trying to fight against years of dust. The seats were covered with crochet blankets, and a collection of plastic garbage bags sat in it, the back seat, like permanent passengers. When she turned the key, the engine groaned before spurting to life, making me wonder if it would survive the drive. Come on, sweetie, let's get you home safe. When she dropped me off, my mother was already waiting at the door, arms crossed, her expression tight with irritation. You lucky that nice lady brought you home before curfew, she muttered. You can't be coming home late, Kyra. This is not gonna work. I'm sorry, Mommy, I whispered, staring down at my shoes. She stuck her teeth. You think sorry fix things? You're lucky your sister and brother sleeping already. The least you can do is keep the house quiet while me step out. Then she grabbed her purse and left, slamming the door behind her, leaving me in silence of her small apartment. I was alone, just me and my thoughts. Didn't see Fiona and Davin, but the twins were there. I checked on Zeke and Zimari, peeking into their room. Their soft and romantic filled the space. Tiny bodies crawled up beneath warm blankets. They looked so peaceful, untouched by the kind of thoughts that torment me every second of the day. I closed the door quickly and made my way to the kitchen. My heart pounded as I stood in front of the fridge, staring at the neatly stacked food inside. I wasn't hungry, but the need was there. The shame from Jeff's house still clung to me. The weight of every bite I had eaten felt like unbearable, like it was pressuring into my skin, scratching me, making me take up more space than I deserved. I made my way to the kitchen. There was something sticky on the counters, so I took a rag from the sink and started wiping the counters. As I did, it was a cup of peaches sitting in a little different containers. I couldn't stop staring at them, like it was calling me, echoing my name, tormenting me. I grabbed a cup of peaches, then another, then more. The sweet syrup slid down my throat, and before I knew it, I was in the fridge reaching for the leftover lamb and rice, shoved it into my mouth. It didn't feel like eating, it felt like consuming, devouring, losing control. The more I ate, the less I thought, the less I felt, until it was too much. My stomach twisted painfully, and the disgust slammed into me all at once. I stumbled to the bathroom, my breaths coming out shallow and quick. My knees hit the cold tile floor, fingers gripping the toilet bowl, and then I let it go. Tears shrunk my eyes as I flushed it away, as if that would make it disappear, as if it would erase everything I had done, but it didn't. I pressed my forehead against the cool bathroom towel, breathing heavily, my body trembling. My chest ached, but in a sick, twisted way. I felt lighter, empty, clean. I forced myself to stand, gripping the sink as I rinsed my mouth, brushed my teeth. My reflection stared back at me. Howled I, exhausted, but I ignored it. I turned off the bathroom light, dragged myself to bed, and pulled the covers over my head. I pretended this was normal. I pretended I was okay. And that was chapter 3, 4, and 5. Like I said before, if you want to see more of me reading along, please comment below if you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, and the full videos will be on YouTube or my TikTok, Egypt Nile. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this book. For now, have a good day. Just leave that there. Hope everyone has a good day, and I see you next time. Bye for now. See? Come. Look at this kitty cat. Say hi. Hello.